Okay, so let's say I'm looking at instant preview. This is another new thing. If you haven't seen it yet, this is something that you can actually see that's actually interesting. Because what that means is that if you see that little magnifying glass up in the corner over there where my finger is, if you click on that magnifying glass, it will show you the first page of that website, so you don't need to click through to that website. Now, what does that mean as far as results? If you have a website that doesn't look good, that person's not even going to click through. So design now becomes an important element of what you need for that first click-through. Whereas before they couldn't see it, but if they click on that little magnifying glass, now they're going to see your home page. And if your home page doesn't look exciting, or the result, or the landing page that they're going to get at, you may not get that client. So now you have to pay attention to that, and that's the second part where we're talking about web design. Okay. Universal search. Universal search has organic results. But the important thing is that Google determines also the value of the vertical searches that they want to bring in. So if you don't optimize for some of the other vertical searches, you're not going to be a player here. So it really depends. So here, for example, you look at Tiger, you have only 2 listings for organic. You have image results that come in, so those people that do image, okay? New results, you have the news, and so forth. Now, I have a lot of very, very detailed slides here. So I'm just going to go through very quickly, and I can say that if anybody wants to get this presentation, I can actually send it to you, and then you can read all the tips. Because I have tips, universal search tips, but I knew that for 15 minutes I wasn't going to have time, so I just wanted to really give you a real overview of what it's like out there today. Now here's image search. Again, you optimize for images. Video search, you get results from crawled results, you get YouTube results, and Google owns YouTube, so basically it's a blended thing, but you have to optimize for video. Shopping search, there's 2 ways to get into a shopping search. You can do it manually, or you can do a feed to Google and Bing. Most people use a feed directed by the catalog. It's a little complicated, but basically you can read the information over here and get that. Then you have your real-time Twitter, and those results you can actually search in Twitter. But here you find that if you're looking for news in real-time Google search, you have some Twitter results as well. So that comes back up on the home page as well. Okay. So local search is triggered by a local intent. However, if you are in a local area and you want to turn it off, you can turn off the local intent. If you go to the right and click down, it says local intent. You can actually click off that and have that search stopped. Okay, so here's some results for local organic. Again, the sponsored means that that's somebody who's paying for those leads on top, and then you have the local page, place page results. Today, it's changed from local business directory in Google. Now you have to be on place pages. If you are not in place pages, you're not going to be part of this local arena. So I think it's very important for you to look at that, because those results come above the organic results. I know I'm going very fast with this, so it's really, there's a lot here. And basically, this is the organic results. Again, and I just want to show you one other thing, that if you actually click on these now on Google Maps, it's very different than it used to be. They just changed all of Google Maps about, I think, 2 months ago. So the results are not the way they used to be, where they came up with a little box. It's actually changed to look like this. The other thing, too, is if you click on it, you get a little advertisement of that local result. But you don't get a link to go to the website, but they give you the information there. So it's changed, so you can't actually go to the website from this result. So local Google Map results. This slide will tell you how to optimize for local. So again, I'm moving along. And then you have mobile search, and mobile search is completely different. You have on deck and off deck. On deck means it's burnt into the browser is burnt into the actual device. The off deck it goes through Google or a browser. And mobile is the next frontier. It's the next hot thing. It's something that everybody should be paying attention to. And it's a different set of keywords and a different set of results. And you can really think about this. Why? Well, because you have a different device. The device is much smaller, so you have to, think about that. Now here you have, this is actually the old top 10 maps. And, basically you can see how the results came in. Here's mobile. Now you see that those results, basically, you're very limited. So now you have the sponsored results, you have the map results, and you have the organic on the bottom. But because you don't have much space, you have to completely, do a different thing for mobile, including maybe even creating a mobile website, and we'll talk about that, also. So how to mobilize for mobile search? Basically you could build a mobile website, or you can use, they have some formatting tools where they have CSS where the tool itself will adapt your website to the mobile frame. But it's not as good as obviously building a mobile site that really thinks about the functionality you want that people are going to need when they're on the go with their phone in front of them. Okay, so now what do you need to start? You need to start with a search-friendly website and web design. Because if you don't, then all your leads go to your site, but your navigation, usability, everything might not be right and in sync with that whole presence. So you really need to think this through. And one of the things that we always say is that you have to remember one thing when you're dealing with search. Websites are primarily designed for human beings. We're still human, and we still have to think about what it is that we need as human beings to see and hear and use on a website. That one of the things is messaging, which I think is very much really overlooked in websites. In other words, what is your marketing message? Who's your target audience? What is it that they need to see and hear? How do you convince them that they are the right audience for you? It's not all about you, it's all about them. And messaging is one of the things that is the least paid attention to because it costs to think about that. And then usability and basically functionality. What does your audience need to have on the web? And then websites developed in a way that they can easily and fully be crawled by search engines. And that there's a lot that you have to compromise to make that happen. So, the site content basically in line with your goals, consistent layout, visual appearance, site should be easy to navigate, high findability. Users should be able to find what they are looking for, and a site search, an internal search for large sites. And then finally, sites should load within 2 to 4 seconds, each page should load, because that's part of the algorithm. If they don't load quickly, the ranking is lower. And basic rules for search engine focused. Internal site links, links that link to each other within the website itself. Avoid flash and drop downs. Flash is a picture. Google only reads text, so if your website has flash, that doesn't mean an animation. You can use animation, but you got to use it correctly. You have to know how to use it. Here's the implement clean, and I think W3C, was that what you were talking about? W3, validated code with CSS coding, external Java files, etc. So you have to really follow the code rules. There are rules. HTML sitemap is for humans. The XML sitemap is basically for the Google and for the search engines. But you need both of those to have an effective website. Avoid session IDs. No frames. Frames are out. That was out long ago. And single site domain. We have found more sites that have www, the domain name, and they also have it without the www, which means you have duplicate content. Google doesn't like that, and it's not going to recognize either one of them. So you're going to get penalized for a lot of these little code things that you may not even know you have that exist on your site if you don't have a good SEO expert going through it and making sure your code is correct, and that your linking structure and your functionality is all done correctly. So there's a lot to do. Okay, so in conclusion, search has become more complex due to the emergence of vertical search and local intent. However, to get the best visibility is to create a balance between the human messaging and design coupled with deep knowledge of SEO. Thank you.